Hi everyone, I'm Bartek, and today we are talking about AI agents in field sales, how to transform the way your sales team work in the field. Over the next hour, we'll show you real examples and walk you through the challenges field teams face on a daily basis. And most importantly, Magda will show you a live demo on these agents in action. By the end, you'll understand exactly how AI can help your sales organization. But first, let me introduce myself. I'm Bartosz, an AI and cloud solutions leader here at DS Stream. I specialize in AI-driven applications and technologies that help businesses optimize their operations with AI. And today, I'm excited to have Magda with us. Magda is an AI transformation consultant with almost 2 decades of IT experience. She was a CTO in AI sales tech startup, and now she helps organizations to implement advanced sales solutions. Later in this webinar, Magda will walk us through a live demo showing exactly how these AI agents work in practice. You'll see them solving real sales problems. So, hello, Magda.
Hi.
And a little bit about our agenda. So here's what we are going to do today. So we will start with why AI matters in sales, then look at the real challenges field teams face. We'll show you the results, the ROI that matters. And then the best part, as I told you, Magda will show you a live demo of AI agents working in the field. Okay, so there is a question, why sales is the perfect place to invest in AI? Magda, you have worked in this space for a while. What makes sales so critical for AI transformation?
Okay. Hello, everyone. And first of all, thank you, Bartosz, for the introduction here. Yes, so while sales, sales is super interesting topic, especially if we also think about AI transformation. And I had a chance to actually see how it evolves and how those companies actually are trying to use AI. So today at this webinar, our goal is to show you using the use case from the sales, especially from the field sales, how our multi-agent systems can actually work in the real life scenarios. So sales has lots of flavors. It's an umbrella that we can find under like a very different products that are sold, very different companies. So we may think of sales as something that is for high volume, low value, like 50 euro subscription for the product. And it can be also something more valuable, like 5,000 insurance package, right? So then we may see different processes, different tactics. Sales teams has a totally different way of selling to the customer using different channels and having the different length of the sales cycles. And what is the most interesting from the perspective of the AI, the field of sales has those two elements that are that can be really implemented through AI. So it's one, this deterministic side, when we can think of like more like a typical automation. So things that have very specific output, like let's say working with the system of records, saving tasks, getting information out, like specific things that we want, and we get it exactly how we want them. And there's also this non-deterministic side, which is a super interesting topic for the Gen AI, where actually the salespeople will look something for like a support and help during their day, and the outcome can be different depending basically on the optimization analytics, on the way how the situation looks like. So it's more like generating text, right, to the customer, where you can have different ways of achieving the same goal. That's why it's so super interesting to show you as an example today.
Okay, thank you, Magda, for this explanation. And in CPG sales, as you can see on the screen, companies lose 10% per store. There is a question, why? Look at these challenges. And Magda, can you walk us through what's really happening here?
Yes. So first of all, we're showing here the problems and the pains of a CPG business, because as a company, we have a lot of clients from CPG, FMCG, retail. That's why the use case. But everyone who's watching us, please stay with us. It's not only about CPG. Like when you see the demo, it can be applied to the different industries as well. But the case of CPG's companies are telling us that there is something on the market happening, and it's actually happening across the retail, across CPG, FMCG companies. That is the same kind of a theme, that it's no longer kind of a game of getting a new customer, like setting up a new store. It's more becoming a game of optimization. So how we can achieve as much as we can from one store presence from one shelf layout, right? So it's all about optimization. We hear the topics like assortment optimization. We had also the webinar about that topic as well. We hear about the shelf, exactly the optimization. We hear about the problems with the out of stock within the stores. All of that is a kind of a main pain that is making the sales in those industries even harder.
Yeah, exactly. So these are the problems. Scattered tools, no real feedback, no visibility. This is exactly why AI agents are built to fix, right?
Exactly. So we can think of this industry like FMCG as a kind of a ship, right? That's on the ocean. And then below the deck, we have the entire field sales team that is trying to make it work. And that team actually has their own problems as well. And as you mentioned, yes, those things which are kind of very correlated with their workload and how they operate in the field, that's the problems that they face every single day. And they're actually adding up to the pile of the problems that the industry have, right? So we need to help them with the tools that it can actually address the problems that they have, which is, for example, the onboarding problem. This is kind of across sales, like it's not only field sales, right? The problem with the fact the onboarding of a new employee is extremely costly. And imagine that you go to the store with your colleague or your sales leader every single time for like 8 weeks to try to get you really, going, right? So now with those technologies, we can shorten the time, and those sales reps don't feel like they're just abandoned after this few weeks of training. It's also the like the thing of the one access to the system, right? So when we think of that, we can think of like a tablet that the sales rep may have with them. And on the tablet, they have many tools, right, that they can use. So, but we can take it even step farther, right? You don't need to have, don't need to type into every single tool. You actually have a one single point of contact when all the tools are for you there. So as you can see, we can help the sales teams in many, many ways.
Yeah, so we've identified the core problems, and now do we have answers for them? So are there specific solutions for each of these challenges?
Yes, so we identified that, for example, for the sales field sales teams, we can actually create the kind of the system of agents where every single kind of a area of tasks can be under help of one agent. So we can imagine that the salesperson may have kind of a few agents helping them on the field. One will be for the, let's say, the trip analysis, the route optimization, how they're visiting the stores, how the trip looks like. The other one can be actually the help on the site with the stock planning, checking the stock outage, and another one can be even the help to find out, okay, what was my recent reader feedback and how I can apply those things into my everyday work.
Yeah, exactly. So let's talk a little bit about numbers right now. So everyone of us know that ROI is always a hot topic. So, but we actually have real numbers here. So Magda, can you break down what our clients are seeing?
Yes. So what we see, and this is confirmed by the big companies like BCG, McKinsey. There is a lot of reports, especially covering the FMCG sector. And what we see there is a lot of gain when we use AI. Obviously, gain and ROI is is a very like a contradictive topic. Like it's a very controversial also right now, right? What's the ROI of what's the outcome of my implementation? But the implementation done well, we can see actually the increase in the territory expansion. We can see that may affect very positively on the revenue coming from the optimization of the shelf. We can see that it reduces significantly the administrative work, and this is across industries, across businesses, and also reduce the time for what I mentioned before, this very time-taking and very costly onboarding.
Yeah, exactly. So as we promised, now we are going to see this in action. So Magda will show us three AI agents working together. So feedback agent, route agent, and on-site agent. And each of them is responsible for tackling one of the problems that we talked about earlier. So Magda, you can take it right away.
Yes, so yeah, exactly. We're gonna show you the demo which was built specifically for this webinar. So we have some limited capabilities, but that's that's where we can start. That's where the AI agents can take you there farther with your specific use cases. And we're showing how a couple of agents work together on resolving the problems that every field sales representative may face during their everyday work. Okay, let's jump to the demo then. Okay, here is our agent. Let me just refresh it one more time to make sure that we start from scratch. And let's see what kind of capabilities we have here available. Hey there.
Hello, how can I help you today?
Well, it all depends what you can actually do for me.
I can help with quite a bit, from managing trips and store visits to checking performance metrics and tasks. What are you looking to do?
Are there any agents helping you?
Yes, there are a few. We have the route agent for trips and optimization, on-site for performance and metrics, and feedback for tasks and insights. I'm the triage agent, helping you get to the right place.
Okay, do you have any tools at your disposal?
Yes, I have quite a few at my disposal, including trip management, performance analysis, task management, and more. What specifically are you interested in?
Okay, and as you saw, our agent, actually the agents behind it, but we're actually directly talking right now to the triage agent, is fully aware what kind of help it has and what kind of tools are available. So let's see that in action, if it actually works as it's promised. Okay, so the first use case will be about trip planning. Hey there.
Hello there. How can I help you today?
What kind of trips we have available in a system?
We currently have 3 trips scheduled. One, Silesia, on February 2, 2026, visiting Lidl Katowice Gliwice, Lidl Tychy Kopernika, Carrefour Rybnik Gliwice, and Spoem Sosnowiec Saturnowska. 2, Krakow only on February 11th, 2026, with stops at Lewiatan Jalanki Przejścia, Biedronka Krakow Rynek, and Groszek Skawina Pobori. 3, South Poland on February 22nd, 2026, visiting TSS.
Okay. Let's take a deeper look into this Silesia trip.
The Silesia trip on February 2nd, 2026, includes 4 stops. Lidl Katowice Gliwice, Store 101, has priorities to increase Coco Loco Zero visibility, promote new berry blast flavor, and improve shelf organization. 2, Lidl Tychy Kopernika, Store 606, is standard operation. 3, Carrefour Rybnik Gliwice, Store 404, is excellent performance and fast pace. 4, Spoem Sosnowiec Saturnowska, Store 505, is struggling with older inventory and needs to identify slow items and improve visibility.
Okay, can we take a look at this trip on the map?
I have displayed the route for the Silesia trip for you.
Okay, is there a way to optimize it?
The optimal route for the Silesia trip would be to visit the stores in the following order. 1, Lidl Katowice Gliwice, Store 101. 2, Spoem Sosnowiec Saturnowska, Store 505.
Okay, show me on the map.
I've updated the map with the optimized route for the Silesia trip.
Okay, let's update the existing trip with a new route.
The Silesia trip Silesia 01, has been successfully updated with the optimized route.
Oh, by the way, let's create a new trip with the same route, but for March 16.
To create a new trip, I need to know the sales representative's ID and name, as well as the vehicle ID. The route will be store 101, store
Okay,
505.
I'm James Bond 007, and the vehicle I'll be using the car number 1.
A new trip for March 16th, 2026 has been created with the optimized route for James Bond and vehicle van 01.
Okay, and that's the end of the use case number 1. So as you noticed, I was trying to interrupt our agent a little bit to see how it actually quickly starts, responding to my questions. We got our route optimized. Obviously, it all depends what are our system requirements, how deep we can go into optimization capabilities. But as you can see, the agent is able to show as a kind of a tool the map. So even when we are in the car during the trip, we can make the adjustments on the go. Okay, and now the use case number 2. This will be about analyzing store metrics. Hey there.
Hello, how can I help you today?
Do we have any store in Katowice in our system?
I'm searching for stores in Katowice now.
The one we have in the system.
Yes, we have several stores in the system. Specifically in Katowice, we have Lidl Katowice Gliwice with ID store 101.
Okay, show me on the map.
Sure, I've pulled that up for you.
And do we have any performance metrics about that store?
We have comprehensive performance metrics for Store 101, Lidl Katowice Gliwice. I'm displaying the historical sales growth, stockout rate, and on-time delivery rate in the chart now. Is there anything else you'd like to know about this store?
Can we skip the on-time delivery?
Certainly. I've updated the chart to focus solely on sales growth and stockout rate for Store 101. What other insights can I provide about this store?
We have a store in Krakow as well. Can we show it on the same chart?
A great idea for comparison. I've updated the chart to include Store 202, Biedronka Krakow Rynek, comparing its sales growth and stockout rate with Store 101. Is there any other comparison you'd like to see?
How would you interpret and compare those two stores for me?
To interpret the comparison, we should look at the trends over time. A higher sales growth indicates stronger market performance and potentially more effective strategies for Store 202, Biedronka. Conversely, a lower stockout rate for Store 101, Lidl, would suggest better inventory management and higher customer satisfaction regarding product availability. You can directly compare how these trends diverge on the chart.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Let me know if you need any further analysis.
Okay, and that was the use case number 2. As you saw, our agent, this time we got transferred to the on-site agent, was actually able to show us and compare the two stores on the chart and give us a little bit of analysis. Obviously, we can take this kind of a use case and work on it and make it really adjusted to the reports and metrics that we actually have within our company. Okay, with that, let's move on. Now we will see how our agents are dealing with the shelf optimization. Hi there.
Hello, how can I help you navigate today?
We have a store in Katowice. I'm planning to go there. So can you find me the photo of a last visit when I took a photo of a shelf in the store?
Sure, I can help with that. To find the photo of the shelf from your last visit, I'll need the specific store name or ID for Katowice. Which store is it?
Yeah, I think it's Lidl Katowice, Gliwicka Street.
I've displayed the shelf photo for Lidl Katowice Gliwicka. Is that the one you were looking for?
Yes, exactly. And do we have the recent planogram?
Yes, I have the Coco Loco Perfect Store planogram. It was last updated on January 1st, 2026. It details the placement of Coco Loco and Coco Loco Zero drinks in the main aisle. Would you like to see the specific layout?
Yeah, yes, please.
I've displayed the Perfect Store planogram photo. It focuses on the main aisle placement of Coco Loco and Coco Loco Zero drinks.
Okay, let's go back to the store shelf photo again.
Switching back to the store shelf photo now.
Okay, so what's the difference? What I have to improve when I'll be there in the store?
The Perfect Store planogram details the main aisle placement for Coco Loco and Coco Loco Zero, specifying up to 23 facings per shelf across 4 levels. To identify specific improvements for this store, I need to compare the standard with the most recent visit's placement details. Could you please provide the store ID?
The Katowice store we were looking at before.
Thank you. It looks like the store is Store 101, Lidl Katowice Gliwicka. To provide a comparison, I will fetch the last visit's placement details.
Based on the last visit's placement details compared to the Perfect Store planogram, here are the key areas for improvement in Lidl Katowice Gliwicka. Coco Loco Zero facings. The planogram requires 4 facings for Coco Loco Zero on shelves 1, 2, and 3, and 6 on shelf 4. The current layout has significantly fewer facings on all shelves, so this needs adjustment. Coco Loco facings. The planogram requires 6 facings for Coco throughout. While shelf 3 meets this standard, shelves 1, 2, and 4 are below the requirement.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Is there anything else I can help you analyze for this store?
Okay, and that's the end of another use case. As you have noticed, our agent was fully capable of finding the last shelf photo we took and also compare it with the planogram. So when we on the rush, we can actually in the very last moment find out what's the difference and how we should adjust the things to the most up-to-date planogram that we have for the store. Okay, and now let's jump into the final use case. This time we're going to work with the tasks. Hey there.
Hello, how can I help you today?
Can I take a look at the tasks that we have for the store in Katowice?
Certainly. For Lidl Katowice Gliwicka Store 101, you have 2 pending tasks. 1. Inventory check. Task 1. Check Coco Loco Zero levels. Notes, expected low stock after promotion. 2. Competitor tracking. Task 10. Record competitor pricing for energy drinks. Notes, check for new Mega Power discount tax.
Okay, so let's mark the inventory check task as completed.
Acknowledged. I have marked Task 1, Inventory Check, as completed for Lidl Katowice Gliwicka.
Oh, by the way, do we have any recent task feedback from my sales leader?
I can certainly check for that. To retrieve feedback from your sales leader, I need your specific sales rep ID. Could you
007, that's me.
Thank you. Rep 007. Your recent feedback from your leader indicates exceeding expectations, with notes that James shows great initiative in securing prime shelf space. The improvement suggestion is to focus on upselling high-margin limited edition flavors.
Oh, that's a good point. Let's add to the store Katowice that we were just checking tasks for a new task that directly refers to my leader suggestion.
I have successfully added the new task for you. A new sales drive task, task 17690558678, has been created for Lidl Katowice Gliwice, focusing on upselling high-margin limited edition flavors.
Okay, can you summarize me the tasks I have right now for the store in Katowice?
Certainly. For Lidl Katowice Gliwice, Store 101, you currently have 2 pending tasks. 1. Competitor tracking. Task 10. Record competitor pricing for energy drinks. 2. Sales drive. Task 17690558678. Focus on upselling high-margin limited edition flavors based on leader feedback.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. Is there anything else I can help you with regarding tasks or feedback?
No, all good, thank you.
Have a productive day.
Okay, and that was our last use case. As you noticed, I was trying to make kind of quite complex request at the end where was actually asked to add a task based on my feedback to the last store that we were checking the tasks for. So you can imagine when you were trying to do that, like in a system of records, and for example, make a request of like, I would like to update for every store I'm visiting tomorrow, I would like to add the same task about my sales leader feedback. So imagine how long it would take you to actually do it within the system of records. Okay, let's get back to the presentation.
Okay, so thank you, Magda, for this demo. It was impressive. The demo looked great, but let's peek under the hood this a little bit because we are talking about agents and we have seen an example of them. But how these agents are actually built? What's behind them?
Yes, so that was kind of a simplified example, obviously. And as probably you all noticed, the voice was changing depending on the agent that was responding to us. That was specifically for the presentation. Obviously, in a real life scenario, we could have probably only the triage agent to be the voice, and the rest of the agents like root agent, on-site agent, and feedback agent just doing the work for us. As you probably noticed as well, every agent that was redirected to had their own kind of skills, so capabilities, which we call tools. So was able to get the information from the different systems, is able to work with different modalities, the photos, the maps, the documents, and that's all can be really, tweaked according to the use case and the needs that we have actually for our own solution.
Yeah, okay, thank you. And these agents solved CPG problems, but are there any solutions or those agents can scale to other industries as well? What sectors are you seeing this work in?
Yes, so probably everyone watching this demo could actually imagine like, oh, that could work for my use case, right? Because it's something that you can really adjust, and this kind of voice capability is highly, needed in the sectors. For example, we can imagine the pharmaceuticals companies, right? The sales reps going from pharmacy to pharmacy, checking if the product is placed correctly, if the order is done properly. We can imagine also in insurance companies, for example, someone who's sharing the big insurances for the plans and have to go on the site, see how things work, and at the same time manage the documents and work with a system of records. It can be also, the food service, the maintenance, inspections, like everywhere where our hands are really like not available at the moment, and we would need to get the data out of the system just for speaking to the system.
Yeah, thank you, Magda, for explaining this. And yeah, we can agree that there is no one-size-fits-all solution, so everything should be tailored to the specific needs. Which brings us to the next point of our presentation, and it's all about scaling. So what you see here, the chat, the voice agents, the conversations, that just resembles the tip of the iceberg, because building an agent is one thing, but scaling it into production, that's the real challenge. And we need connections to all of our systems. So data governance, security testing, monitoring, constant improvement, and constant observation. So this is what separates a proof of concept from an agent that actually works at scale. And I'm talking about this because that's exactly what we'll dive into in our next webinar, so stay tuned for this. And okay, today we covered a lot of things, so problems, results, live demo. Now I want to hear from you, so type your questions in the chat, and Magda and I will answer them. And while waiting for our questions, let me tell you a little bit about us. So we are the Stream, a data-driven company, 9 years in the market, more than 120 projects delivered. We've worked in across 10 industries and mastered 52 technologies. So that allows us to say that we know the space. Okay, so we'll be waiting for your questions. And yeah, I think we have a couple of them on the chat. So let me get back to this slide. And yeah, maybe let me pick one from the bottom. How do you measure? Oh, sorry, it's another one. What kind of LLM? Because that was the first one probably. What kind of LLM is being of that? I think Justina meant it's part of that system. Yeah, what's behind? Yeah, what's behind this this demo that we presented? So,
okay. Okay.
I can tackle this one, Magda, if you wish. Yeah, because in this particular case, we used LLM from one of the cloud providers, but there is no obstacles to use either your own LLMs on-prem, which could be served as on-prem service on your own server, or maybe even if you wish, you can use local LLM just for local testing of these agents. And there are a large number of tools which allows you to do that. So just to name one, it's Olama as a particular tool, which allows you to use your own LLM. So the answer is it depends on the case, but in this particular one, we used a cloud large language model.
Yes, I would add maybe to this that this is specifically the audio native voice-to-voice. So that's very important because there are different models. It's not like ChatGPT talking to us. It has to be specific model that handles the fact we're speaking to it and reacts very fast to answer us. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, the next one. Can this work for smaller retail stores or only large chains?
It can work in every scenario, right? It can be adjusted to whatever needs you have, but I would be very careful of like going that far and build something custom for like a small chain of stores. Because it all depends of kind of use cases you have. If you have very specific use cases, how your system works, yes, definitely working from scratch with the company like ours and building something from scratch is a very good move because the data is a king, basically. So your system is as good as your use cases were covered, right, and recognized, and the right tools are connected. So I would go rather for the smaller companies to find something on the market that would solve, let's say, 70% of the problems, or being 70%, 80% fit to their use case, but it costs less than just building some larger system. But for large companies, I would be suggest to go and build something by themselves because there might be something in the system that will make you ahead of your competition, right? The thing that you will build better than the others.
Yeah, so I think we can agree that everything depends on data. So garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah.
Okay, let's wait for the next one. What kind of a CRM it's connecting?
In that particular case, I mean,
yeah, I think the question does not specify it, but yeah, we can assume that we are talking about this case.
I mean, in that particular case, that was a kind of the system work records we built specifically, just a simple use case. But we have a experience with a Salesforce, with HubSpot. So whenever system we need can be really connected by any tool that we can also build, right? There is a concept right now on this MCP protocols. If there is a company like HubSpot having such a protocol, we can use it for our model. If not, we can use simple APIs to really get to the data. So there's no problem to access any system if it has any kind of ability to connect to.
Yeah, and because of that, I just wanted you to invite you once again to our next webinar, because probably connections to all of the systems will be part of the webinar about scaling. Okay, next question. How do you measure the success of AI agents? What KPIs should we track?
First of all, I would not be focused on only the KPIs of agents, because I believe, and all of us believe, that everything depends on your business needs. So I would just split it into two things. One, the technical KPIs of the agents, and the other thing is the business KPIs. So with the business one, obviously, if we have something similar to the use case that we show, I would probably measure if my territory coverage with stores increased thanks to the implementation, or can my reps go to one more store at the same day because they have a less, their visits are more efficient, right? So that KPIs I would actually set. And then for the technical ones, obviously they relate to specifically to what kind of limitations we can't really accept. So I would say, for example, if we have the accuracy of the responses, we have to measure that probably. I would also say that there is a time to first audio, so how fast the agent can react, if we can wait this couple of seconds, or we have to answer just basically right away. So all of those technical aspects typical to the voice-to-voice, I would really consider. And obviously the uptime, right? If this is something that we extremely rely on and the system needs to work 24/7, I would prioritize for the uptime time of such model and such solution, such system.
Okay, thank you, Magda. And yeah, next question. Could these intelligent agents be applied to industries outside of CPG and retail? If so, are there any major differences in implementation?
As we mentioned already during the webinar, everything can be adjustable. The limitations also something that we just mentioned. Probably I would make sure if the model that we choose for our solution has a specific like uptime, has a specific reaction time that we are able to accept, right? And there is also a way to measure like the systems are doing the best job for us, like in the typical, let's say, developer tools, we have this thumbs up, thumbs down. So maybe it's a good idea to implement a lot of evaluations, making sure that the model actually reacts in the way that we expected. And then after that, we may say if that solution is perfect for our industry, our use case. But I would not, I would say the scalability, maybe something that you may answer during our next kind of webinar. That would be something interesting to join the webinar, and I would find there like a technical limitations that probably someone may face if it's a totally different industry. But all depends of the scale of the business, of size of the business, and really the needs.
Yeah, thanks, Magda. And the next one, yeah, I think it's pretty interesting. Field sales reps are often resistant to adding new tools to their workflow. How do you ensure high adoption rates for these AI agents? And do reps actually trust the advice given by the AI?
That's a really good question, because we faced that question, and I faced also that question throughout my entire journey when I was actually building the sales tool. Yes, so I would not say that we have to convince anyone. The system has to be good enough and work well for people so they really see the kind of advantage that it gives them. So first of all, it has to be designed very well for their specific use case, for the way they interact with the system. So they will be kind of convinced while, working with the tools. I would say product-led acceptance. That's super important. On the other hand, I also believe that let's say the companies like ours that are building such tools, we have to pay a lot of time on adoption and make sure that people are actually using the tool. So we have to train people, show their capabilities, maybe sometimes just show how your day would look like without the tool and with the tool. And very often, to make sure if the implementation is correct, just be with the people on the field and see how they interact with this tool. So they might be annoyed by the fact that the agent is falling asleep every single couple of minutes and they have to like shout do it a couple of times. So you're not going to notice that without actually going with your customer on the field and see how the product works there. So the conviction should be, in my opinion, based on like the top-notch capabilities of such solutions. And obviously, one last thing is a buying from the leadership in the company. So we have to assist people through the entire implementation process. We can't leave them with the tool that they have to figure out by themselves. It has to be well-planned implementation by entire organization.
Okay, and I think that's the last one. What LLMs models do you use? Is the data sent to external servers or kept on premise? And yeah, we've tackled this one a little bit earlier. So in this particular case, we use a cloud LLM from one of the providers. But as I said, there is no obstacle to use on-prem to power up your agentic solution. Okay, so I think that was the last question. So let me jump into the presentation once again. Okay, so that was the last part of our presentation. So thank you for being with us today. We've shown you what's possible with AI agents in the field sales. And if you're interested to learn more about this, feel free to book a free consultation with Magda, our presenter today, by using a QR code, which is presented on the screen. So Magda will tell you even more about agents in sales. And as I said, there is an upcoming webinar from us about scaling agentic solutions. So stay tuned for the updates about this matter. So thank you once again, Magda, for your presentation, for your demo, and thanks everyone once again for being with us today. And yeah, see you on the next one. Goodbye.
Thank you so much. Looking forward for the meetings with you guys. Bye. Thanks.
Take care.